Good evening. This is Jean from Card Creating with Jean. Happy Tuesday night. And welcome. I'm going to be making a quick little project here tonight that does not involve any stamping unless you really want it to. So I need to do something that's a little quicker tonight because I have a class that starts at 7 o'clock, so I'm on a time crunch here to get off and get back on the website or the Zoom link for my class at 7. So anyway, I hope you're all having a great day. Wasn't yesterday beautiful? Oh, I was so pleased to be able to get out and take a nice walk, and boy, the lights are really reflecting off my glasses. Here we go. That's better, I think. Yeah, I don't know how to hold my head so that there's not much of a reflection. So I'm going to go right into talking about what is on back order, if you want to call it, not orderable, and then what's on the low inventory, so we can get started with that while people are getting on. So we got the party dots that are available April 14th, the gold twist thread March 17th, the tiny bead trinkets April 7th, and the adhesive back sequin hearts March 17th. Let's see, I'm going to scroll down here too. There's a basic white cardstock that would be available March 24th in the 8.5 by 11 and also the 12 by 12. So they're not discontinuing it, it's just on, they had run out of stock. The Storybook Moments 12 by 12 paper would be available March 17th. Let's see, the supplement, oh wait a minute, that's French, never mind. We don't need to worry about that, do we? To the Point Label Punch, April 14th. The Beautiful Butterflies Hybrid Embossing Folder with the dies. Hi Nancy, thank you for joining. That one will be back April 7th. Terrific Toadstools Builder Punch, April 14th. Okay, now I'm going into low inventory. The Everyday Arches bundle is on low inventory. Friends of the Ocean suite. The Wildflower Birthday Specialty Designer Series paper and stickers. That's the one that you can use that has the die cut stickers in them. Most people use them when they're doing scrapbooking, but you certainly can use them for card making as well. Let's see. Looks like all 4 of the current in color ribbon is on low inventory. Peach Pie, Pretty in Pink, Petunia Pop, and Summer Splash. And the Itty Bitty Bokeh Mixture little sequin dots are also, and the Petal Pink Scalloped Ribbon and the Sunny Day Iridescent Dots are on low inventory. And all this stamp pads and that kind of thing that's on low inventory. It's Designer Series paper, the Country Lace. Those are all from the main catalog. Let's see what else. Wildflower Birthday 12 by 12 specialty paper. And under stamps, what I'm seeing is in the annual catalog. And then under tools, the Everyday Arches dies and the So Swirly embossing folder. And that's it. So let me get into Facebook on my iPad so that I can bring that up. Oh, better put the volume down before I connect that so we don't get blasted out. All right, let's see. there we are, or there I am. Put this in my little rubberized stand here. Oh my goodness. So Nancy, I think you might be the only one on. Yes, you are at this point. Oh goodness. And I'm going to plug this in because I've got my class afterwards and I'm going to be using this iPad. There. Great. Well, I'm ready to turn the camera down because I have to keep going in order to get done with what I need to do tonight before that class starts at 7. And I have to sign off. Let me get this out of the way. And I did get one item. I had an order that came in today, but most of it was just paper and embellishments and little bottles of ink that I needed. So I'll show you the one thing that I've got that's a little different. Flip the camera here. Whoops, that didn't go. There we go. The light out of the way. And it's those dots there. Bring it down. And these are the neutral matte dots. These are really nice because they they aren't rounded on top. They're flattened on the top. So they come up and they're flattened. I don't know if you can kind of see them from the side maybe when I tilt the... I'll wait for my video to get caught up. So I like the looks of them, and I'm anxious to try them, especially with maybe trying to color them. So I think this is crumb cake, and this is basic beige, black, and then white. These almost do look white. But no, yeah, they are the beige. You can tell when you put it next to beige. Okay, I'm ready to do our drawing. Well, good luck, Nancy. I hope you get this. Wouldn't that be easy? But it's just the one item. This was the tea caddy that we made last week, so it's all set to be put together. And I've got the instructions here. And it's on a piece of heavy-duty cardboard that I'm going to put inside the envelope when I go to send it. Whoops, that's not the right direction. This way. There we go. So whoever wins this will get that. Let's see who the lucky person is. It's Rhonda Brunkhorst. So I will be mailing this to her, and I guess I don't have to wait for her to give me a decision on what I'm sending her, because she's getting this. All right. Put this aside. So I'm going to show you immediately what we're going to make. I'm going to let you... yeah, LOL is right. I'll let you make a choice of what color cardstock you want to use. And we're making these darling little bunnies that you can put a Cadbury egg in, or Reese's Peanut Butter Cup makes an egg that's the same size as this, and that would fit in as well. So I have them in, of course, the white and the soft sea foam, petal pink, and pool party. So whichever one you would like me to make this in, I will do that. And then I'm going to put this together completely. And then when we have our drawing, I will let the person that wins make their selection of what color they would like to have. And then I will make another one up and just not put it all together. So... Got any ideas, Nancy, what color we should make this one tonight? I'm glad you like them. Thanks. Which one is your favorite color? and we'll get started. The seafoam, perfect. Alrighty. Get my cutter down here. I thought I had seafoam. Wait, here it is. Okay. So it takes a piece of paper that is 3 inches wide by 10 1/4 long. No, that's not right. 10 1/8. I knew that wasn't right. Alright. And I'm just going to start out right away with scoring this one on this long side. You can score it at, out of the way, 1 inch, 3 3/8. 1, 2, 3. And 5 3/4. And 9 1/8. Oop. Oh boy, I almost cut it. And then these narrow sides, a 1/2 inch on each side. So I'm just going to use I'm just going to flip it around. Have you ever seen these before made? I saw the video for them. I thought they were so cute. And of course it was somebody from the UK. And it was all done not in, what is it, imperial? Is that what we call ours? It's all metric. Okay, this is going to be the base. And then, why did I go so far with this? Put it back. We need a scrap piece that we can cut. I think I can get it out of this. This one's got some. I need 3 3/8 squared. 3 and 1, 2, 3. Well, I think that's going to end up on, I'll make sure that ends up on the inside. It's just, was a rub mark from my 3 and 1, 2, 3, from my drawer. Okay. And this one is going to be scored at a 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. And I think I would be happy to write out the instructions for whoever wins this in case they want to make some of these. I think they would make darling table favors on Easter to have at each person's place. Then we are going to take and we're going to cut this on the diagonal because these pieces are going to be the end pieces on the box. So you just line up the 2 points in exactly the center of the groove that the blade goes down. And then bring your blade into the middle. You don't want to push the blade through because you'll crumple the ends and they won't have a nice point on them. There we go. Alright, now I can put this aside for a little bit. Alright, on these, we're going to fold them down. And then we're going to take and cut this tail off on each side. Like so. And then on this corner, we're going to cut just one side. And then we're going to slice diagonally here to take a little pie-shaped piece out there. Not ever seen them? Okay, good. I was hoping that maybe so many people had seen them. I had not before, but just because I hadn't seen them doesn't mean much. They go together fairly quick, and I just took 4 of them down to the florist shop today, and I told her I could have more for you, but I'm doing a demonstration. I wanted to have 1 of each color so that I could show them off. You could probably even use some DSP on these. I don't know that I would make them with DSP only. I think they need the thickness of the DSP to hold them up so that they don't. I think that with a DSP, it's going to want to sag open on the sides. But there's no, doesn't say that you can't put some in here to decorate. It would look really cute. Okay, so we got those. And now on this long one, I'm going to just quickly, I'm not going to use the bone folder yet. Okay, so that you can see what we got going on here. There's one window that's larger than the other two. And then they both have like a 1-inch piece on the ends of each other. So on this large one, this is where we're going to put the window on. And so we need to cut everything on the side on both from here down, and also this little piece in here. But before we do that, we are going to take a really sharp diagonal cut up to the score line on each side. I had to look around to see how much I could get, how many I could of those these eggs I could get, and how expensive they were going to be. I found them at Walgreens, 2 for $2.50, which I thought was pretty good. So I went with it, and I bought 8 of them. So now you could use your cutter if you wanted to. I tried one using the cutter. For me, maybe I need to replace the blade on my cutter. It ended up with a lot of little, I don't know, frizzies on the end of the paper. It didn't give a nice clean cut because I had already scored it. So I'm just using my scissors on it. I don't think it has to be so exact. I'll put this over. There. Okay. Get rid of those. Now you need to have an oval die cut. When I went to make these, that was my first problem that I ran into, is I didn't have any oval die cuts. And then I remembered the dies from the, let me see if I can find it. It should be here on my table someplace. Oh, maybe I stuck it away. I did. It's from the Greetings of the Season dies, the ones that had all the tags in it. I just don't have any oval dies, so I decided, all right, we're going to use those. So let me bring over the big machine. Hopefully it won't make too big of a rock and roll on here. Hopefully you can see this. Yeah, you can. I'm going to line this up further down towards the bottom. Try to center it as best I can, but just leaving a little bit here at the bottom because we need to be able to have room to put some ears on the top. You may have an oval that is a little bit smaller than this one is. I don't know. That would probably help too. But this is, I'm just going with what I have. Alright. So now I have a piece that I can save for another time. Alright. And now I'm going to actually, you can use either vellum or you could use the clear Why can't I never remember the name of them? Window sheets. Window. I have cut this piece of vellum. When I first started, this is 2 inches wide, and I cut them at 2 inches to begin with, and I found that it was really hard to get this to fold in once I had this glued in place. So I just make a 1 15/16, so a 1/16 of an inch shy of 2 inches. The length of this is 2 3/4. So what I have found is best is just to put a little bit of glue around the outside edge of this oval. Then I'm going to put this aside for just a couple minutes so that it sets up and doesn't ooze all over the place. And while we're doing that, we're going to put together these corners. So now I'm going to make sure this is nice and creased. All right. I'm just going to put a dab of glue on here. And just line them up right to the corner. All right. And now we'll bring our piece back. I'm just going to, it's got plenty of room for the height. And I just bring this in. I could have cut it just a slight bit more, so even a 7/8 would probably work, because you have plenty of room on each side there. That's going to be fine. All right. So now I'm going to actually, let's make sure we got some good creases here. All right, we are coming down the home stretch. These guys are put on so that the side that doesn't have an edge on it is going to be pointing up towards this. And I can always get the first one on. It's the second one that I put on that I always have to really think about it, because I want to put it on backwards. I'm going to flip this around so I can see what I'm doing here. I'm going to put this on here. Get it right up to the edge. That's looking great. And now I'll put the other one on. See, I want to put it this way, and it's not. It's this way. So make sure you don't put it on this way, because it's going to be all screwed up. Or even that way. So, okay. So we want it this way. I don't know. Maybe it's a left brain thing. I don't know. Alright. Got a little bit on that edge. Just a tiny little bit right oozing out there. All right, now we'll do the ends and bring it up. And I'll put the glue on the other side as well. All right. press it into place really good. All right, and then you just fold in this out. Fold in these guys and tuck it in, and you've got your box all done. Now, no matter what I've done, I've always ended up with it not being quite even. I've tried taking 1/8 of an inch off, and it's still, so I'm like, okay, you can't beat them, join them, I guess. We're just going to cut that little bit off, and then I am going to find the center of this. It's 2 inches, and just put a little mark because we're going to punch a hole, just so I get somewhat centered, like so. And I'm just using plain old paper punch from the office supply. Whoops, let's get it the right direction, Jean. That looks pretty good, like so. All right, we got to put a face on this little guy. He doesn't look like anything so far, does he? So I'm going to show you how I've done the faces. I'm going to put this away for a little bit. And that is this piece of paper here. I sat and I colored and tried it different ways. You can use a Stampin' Blend, but you have to have an extremely light touch. I have also used one of these permanent marker Sharpies that has the really fine tip on it. That works well as one up and one diagonal. One across and across and down and down. The eyes, I found the best way to do the eyes is to make like a backwards comma. I suppose you could do it the other direction. Like so. And then just make a little dot at the top. So it looks like so. Hopefully you can see that. I guess I should have kept it the way it was. That way it makes it look like the little guy is looking up at an angle. So that is what we are going to do. Once I get my hand in the way, I figured you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing here, maybe. So I go about halfway. My rings keep wanting to rotate on my hand because my fingers have gotten smaller than they were when I had them sized to begin with. So we got the little whiskers and the nose, and now I'm going to put my little commas in with, and I put them fairly close to the nose. All right, we can put him in, and now we are going to put some ribbon on, and I'm going to use the iridescent striped ribbon. Do that first, then it holds together a little bit nicer. I broke out my other scissors. I couldn't take it any longer, but I put a string on it so that I only use it for ribbon until I can't stand it. This other one, then I'll have to buy another scissors. Okay. Oh, let's put our little cream egg in there. Want to get it all together. Find it's easiest to put the 2 ends through the hole, and because this is a nice big hole, you don't have such a hard time getting it to go through, and then that brings the knot up nicely. And then I'm going to take our scissors again and Make a nice end on it. Okay, we need some ears on this guy. Okay, so the ears, I took one of the other dies from that set, and that's that one. And this is where I had to kind of wing it a little bit. I cut some white or petal pink, depending on what color, you know, in the rabbit that was white, I used petal pink on the inside of the ear. So I cut a couple of these out of white cardstock. I didn't use the whole thing, like half of it, because the ears don't, I want them long, but not that long. The first couple that I made, they were way too long, and I had to redo them. And then for the outside of the ear, I cut a piece of green cards. Oh, actually, maybe I'll use this. I think this is about the right size. I cut pieces that were 1 7/8. What's this? Pretty close. And by 9/16, which is the 16th over the halfway. Oops, the halfway mark. Got me way up too high. Not halfway. Yeah, halfway. I think that's right. Yes. It's just going to be slightly wider than the little white guys that I made. 16th over the halfway mark, which is 9/16. Okay. And then I want the length to be 1 7/8. I got to cut just a smidge off of these. Okay. So in the interest of saving time, I cut some of these out already. And we are just going to glue these on here and shape them. So, a little bit of glue here. Ooh, that one up high. I gotta turn that one around. Okay. First I tried just cutting these the way they were, and then doing the inside color. I cut them in, you know how on the die cut, when you cut them out, they have a little edge on them that you can kind of see. And I tried doing that on one, and it didn't look right. They were just too skinny. I said, okay, these little bunnies have to have a little more thickness here. Get this up here. Okay, so I'm not going all the way to the end because I want to round this out. But almost. Okay. On the, come here. On the bottom, we want to cut just a little bit of a concave here because we're going to mount them on the edge of this oval, and you want them to kind of blend in a little bit. So just a little bit. See how little that is? If you have a punch or something that you can use to cut that out, go for it. I didn't even bother looking. I thought, oh, this is easy enough to grab. Okay, so I'm just going to go around approximately the same width as what I glued this on. It might not be perfect, but it's, well, that side's got a little flat side on them, but I think it's fine. That one's better. Alright, now we are going to shape them a little bit. Just give them a curl. You can use your bone folder if you want to. Thumb works good too, I think. Okay, because this one's got a flat side, I want to put him on this side so the flat side is more towards the center, not towards the outside. And I'll put a little glue on here. You could use whatever glue you want to, but I think I like the mono because you can reposition it if you need to. It's a little more forgiving. Hopefully you can see this. And you could put a tag on here that says Happy Easter if you want to. Because it's kind of not against something flat. You got to hold it for a little bit longer than what you normally would. Get some of this scraps out of the way. You could make the ears longer if you wanted to. I just thought that with the top here, I had some that extended just a smidge, and I don't know, I just didn't like the looks of it as well. But that was my opinion. So what do you think? That is my project tonight. Get them all out here and line them up. This one doesn't have any candy in it because I ran out now. Saved one for the demonstration. But I think these are adorable. Should bring the camera. Maybe you can see them better now. Yeah, all lined up like little soldiers. So, the one thing I need to tell you is that I am going to not be able to do a video live on Saturday evening. I have a friend that is going to be moving out of the country, and in the next couple of weeks, and we had made plans to go out to eat with he and his husband here on Saturday night, and I wasn't even thinking, oh, I do a live on Saturday night. I shouldn't be planning this, but I didn't want to change it. And so I'm going to probably skip doing a live this Friday, or this Saturday, unless I come up with a different time that I would be doing it, either earlier in the day or later. I will think about it, and I will probably post something on my Facebook page if I decide that I'm going to do something. I think we're probably going to do a review of that box that I had made for Valentine's Day so that you can see how it looks made for Easter. It's really cute. I took 11 of them down to the florist shop today, and she was very excited to get them. So anyway, that is what I have tonight. Thank you for joining me, Nancy. I really appreciate that. And I will see you then next Tuesday, unless I come up with an earlier time that I can do it. Yeah, just watch the Facebook page. Oh, and there was something else I should have mentioned, and that was the workshop that I worked on that I haven't cut paper yet, and I certainly could add onto it. I got plenty of it. So if this is something anybody would be interested in, you'd be making 8 cards. The only stamping you're doing are the sentiments, except a couple of flowers. You wouldn't necessarily have to have the stamp set for, what is the name of this one? Wishing Floral Delight, pardon me. You could use some other sentiments if you wanted to, but all the die cuts would be cut out. You'd get the bees to put on the cards and the ribbon, and I'd be doing that for $30, postage included. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, I'm happy to mail one out to you. Just let me know and we can make arrangements for the payment and stuff like that. So keep me posted on that. I'm going to probably be starting to cut paper the end of this week. And that is my only little announcement on that. I've got another workshop coming up later, but it's next month. So I figured I didn't need to start talking about that one quite yet. So have a good evening, and I will maybe see you Saturday, otherwise next Tuesday. Thank you.